Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is VTech Guy. Today, you see things are a little bit different now. I have the green screen now. We're going to be doing, hopefully this format for a while now. I'm going to just see how it works. Maybe change up a little bit here and there. You guys give me your feedback on what you think about it. So I'll have the gameplay somewhere like right here, and I'll have myself talking to you guys. So today's video, we're going to be doing a review to a game I'm a little bit late to, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Now, as far as Modern Warfare Remastered, that'll be probably tomorrow's video, maybe somewhere down the line. But we're going to take just a look at Infinite Warfare and how it matches up, in my opinion, to last year's Black Ops 3. Of course, they're made by two different developers. Of course, the Black Ops developers. In my honest opinion, I just was not a big fan of any of the Black Ops. I think, you know, Black Ops 2 was okay, but I just wasn't a big fan of this series. I'll definitely say better than Ghost, though, and definitely did Advanced Warfare. Infinite Warfare, I think, did something very, very right this year. I think as much crap they got during their trailer release, which I think is mostly in part due to them trying to put the $80 tag on their Legacy Edition, which I did buy their Legacy Edition, but I got it when they jumped it down to $60 price tag. I think they definitely, you know, as much crap as they got, they definitely did something right this year. They got the campaign right, in my opinion, and Zombies is something really you have to really screw up on. Last year's Zombies, I wasn't a big fan of. And the multiplayer, I was not a fan of the campaign at all last year, but the multiplayer, I think, last year was a little bit better than this year's. Now, I don't like the characters from last year's, but I like this year's generic characters that you can make your own. I feel like last year was too much of, these are your characters, get acquainted to them, you're going to love them, even though you might not. So I think that's the key point there. The campaign this year, I'll say, definitely has good replay value. It has that, it has, you know, the side elements to it. You can do the side missions, and everything builds up to the story missions. I think that's really cool. You're not just in a very linear path for shooter games. You know, the first-person shooter genre is very poised in how they work with their campaign. And I think this is a good step to innovate that genre. As with, you know, we can look at the fighting genre. I think Injustice and Mortal Kombat, they took that leap in their story, not to be bland, not to just have like that arcade story at the end. It was actually a story mode. And I think this year, instead of being a very linear based shoot 'em up story where you have options now, you can, you know, last year you could go through your loadout, but I think this year the options and the story was much cleaner than last year's. I would definitely say that. Of course, I say this year's characters are just as forgettable as last year's. The characters in the story mode definitely suffer from, they're just not as interesting when you go back and you're going to play Modern Warfare Remastered. You'll be like, those characters were very memorable. I mean, of course, it sticks with me from my childhood, but I think in terms of these characters, Ethan was a big one that stuck out. The guy that played Conor McGregor, of course, stuck out. And your main guy kind of did. There's this one officer that looked like my neighbor, so I guess she kind of stuck out. Other than that, everybody else is kind of forgettable. You guys go around and you're like, okay, they died. That sucks, but you know, that's how campaign played out. And I think the campaign alone, if I was to give a solid number to the campaign this year, I think 8. I think 8 is a fair number to give it. It was pretty well done. Zombies this year, though. Man, I can kind of jump back and forth where I liked it much better than last year, but yeah, I think the gimmicky of it kind of made it more fun. I'm gonna say the leveling up in Zombies, I kind of getting used to. I like it though. I think it adds the element of fun to it. I definitely like how they have the drops for it. You know, you can spend money if you want, but it's completely optional. You play the game, you get the drops, just like in multiplayer. You play the game, you get the little keys or whatever, you open them up, it gives you, you know, randomized, you get a rare, something good, something not. We're going to talk about multiplayer in a second with those rare drops, because I think this is something that I don't like, but we'll get to that in a minute. So back to the Zombies, you're in this 80s-esque movie or whatnot. Had a lot of fun with it, playing with a lot of buddies. I think something where zombies should continue to go. I don't know if I definitely say this is where it should go, but I think in terms of the replay value, I think it's definitely going to have the replay value as always. With the DLC coming out, I think that definitely happens to help it out a lot. We got the Sabotage DLC coming out. I think it just came out actually as I'm talking, just like a couple days ago. I heard it was good. I have to get it and try it out. So of course that adds more zombies maps and more multiplayer maps. But if you're like me, you're going to be very content with your multiplayer options. I feel like multiplayer is something that I don't think we need to spend too much extra money on. Whereas zombies, I feel like was a big one always for like World of War and stuff like that. So now on to multiplayer portion of this review. Well, I'll give zombies, if I have to give it a number, I mean, it's one map, which is a big, you take what you get. But for that one map, I'll give it a 7. I say campaign this year really got me. I really like the campaign this year. Because last year, it stunk really bad. So 7 this year for zombies. Now moving forward to multiplayer, everybody. The thing a lot of people play, but as I've noticed, more people want to go back and play Modern Warfare Remastered's multiplayer, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But you got people to pay the money for Infinite Warfare, and then you got them to pay extra to get the Modern Warfare Remastered. And what I'm trying to say is, with Infinite Warfare Remastered multiplayer, it's not for everybody. You made a lot more people like the boots on ground action, but I think something that I will touch on in my Modern Warfare review that this one did perfectly is that you can play every class. I will say that. We're gonna talk about Modern Warfare Remastered and how it shows its age by you have to play to the map. Here you can play any class you want, and it works out just fine. You can be a sniper any map. You can be a shotgunner in a map. You can be a light machine gunner any map. If you're like me and you rock that NV4, I'll show a video here somewheres of me rocking that, getting the kill cam. Thumbs up for you, because you can play any way you want. And I think that's the big thing of Infinite Warfare. The maps, very generic. Very, of course, they're touch-ups of previous maps and stuff like that. There's definitely a little bit of the touch from the story of the campaign, where we have the Earthlings trying to face everybody else who's spread out. So we got that definitely going on for us. And we have these little missions break up where you have your, I think they were called like JTF for the main ones, and then like the War in Space and other stuff like that for those planets, and you have their missions and you can get extra XP, extra items, stuff like that. But the big thing I want to pound on so badly with the multiplayer is they have these rare weapons which give you stupid bonuses. I think that's dumb. I don't think you have your generic bland weapon that you can customize and to your own fitting, but then you add these like rare elements that you can get through drops that make it a little bit unfair. You know what I mean? And it shows that pay to play, pay to win nature that could occur if people just start dumping tons of money and they get a really good weapon that they're good with, of course, that they can also abuse. And I think that's why multiplayer this year, I'm very stuck on it, but I think definitely better than last year, so I'm going to go with like 5.5 on this one. And if I had to give the game a total all-around score, it gets a 7.5 for me. It definitely didn't deserve as much crap in the end as the trailer showcased, but in the end, it is a space shooter, so you take what you get. I'm going to touch on this real quick. Is a Legacy Edition bonus for you guys. Next year's edition, I think they should keep the same model. This might be an unpopular opinion, but I think they should have one game that's going to be boots on ground or remastered, and the other game which will be your space flying around, jetpacking. I really love the bull charge with the Merc and stuff like that. I think if we definitely keep them bundled together, I think it'll work out just fine, and it's a good method for Activision, Infinity Ward, anybody who's making Call of Duty to go forward with. And I hope it works. I hope it works out in the end. this year was a good game. So, adios.